So today I'm going to start lecture 40 in helicopter dynamics, and we are going to finally make the leap from momentum theory to BET. I'm Dr. Ranjan Ganguly. Now we saw that momentum theory lets us calculate the inflow velocity, and also it lets us to calculate the induced power, but it doesn't tell us anything about how to improve the blade geometry and how to design the rotor blade. So for this, different theory is developed and it is known as BET. And essentially this theory is going to let us calculate the forces on the blade due to its motion through the air. It also lets us calculate a better estimate of performance. We are going to be able to calculate both the induced power and the profile power, and therefore also obtain expression for the figure of merit. We are also going to calculate different forces on the entire rotor, specifically related to drag and lift. Now, those of you who are familiar with fixed wing theory would realize that the blade element theory is essentially lifting line theory of the fixed wing being applied to the rotating wing. Now, in BET, we assume that each blade section is essentially a 2D wing section, and this is used to produce the aerodynamic forces. So finally we are now looking at the blade level. Now the influence of the wake and rest of the rotor is completely captured through the induced velocity, which essentially we will see when we take a detailed look at the blade section. BET requires this induced velocity in its formulation, and so one of the reasons we developed momentum theory before BET is that we can estimate induced velocity from BET and then use it in BET. But we are not restricted to momentum theory. If we want, we can use more advanced theories to calculate V. For example, we could use vortex theory, we could use non-uniform inflow calculations, where lambda would be a function of the radial location as well as psi. So essentially in the momentum theory, we have assumed lambda is constant across the rotor disk, but there are methods by which we can obtain lambda as a function of r and psi also. So even in those cases, those calculations can be made part of the BET approach. Now, if you recall lifting line theory, generally there is the fact that you assume that the aspect ratio is very high. Now, the aspect ratio is typically defined as radius by chord. So this is generally true for a helicopter rotor, because if you see a typical helicopter blade, you will observe that the radius is much larger compared to the chord C. So R by C is going to be very large, 10 or 20 as the case may be. Now, momentum theory is the simplest approach you can get to calculating the induced inflow, which we have discussed before. BET will deal with more detailed flow. We are going to look at the velocity at each section on the blade, and with this we are going to calculate the loading on the blade. BET also relates rotor performance and loads to detailed design parameters. One more thing we saw is that momentum theory is a global analysis which provides useful results, and it cannot be used by itself to design the rotor because it really doesn't care about the blades. You only have the rotor radius coming into momentum theory, and you are using it to calculate the inflow on the rotor disk as well as the power required in terms of the induced power. So blade element theory also assumes that the blade is a lifting line, the disk loading is low, and at present we are going to neglect any effect of stall and compressibility, though there are ways to include these in BET which we will touch upon later. So finally, I'm going to give you the main diagram which is going to guide our discussion on BET. So essentially you have the airfoil section, and this is located at some distance r from the center of the rotor disc. And at this section you essentially have this angle theta, which is the pitch, and this is measured from the plane of rotation to the zero lift line of the airfoil section. Now if you look at the velocity which comes at the section is u, and u has two components, a perpendicular component up and a tangential component ut, and this angle phi is known as the induced angle, and alpha is going to be theta minus phi, and that is typically the angle the airfoil section sees with respect to the flow. So it is the angle of attack. Now L should be perpendicular to velocity u, D should be parallel to velocity u. So that's the typical definition of lift and drag, that lift is perpendicular to velocity, drag is parallel to velocity. So we are going to calculate expressions for L and D, and then later we are going to calculate Fx and Fz, which are in the x direction and the z direction. So these particular forces Fz and Fx are going to let us calculate the rotor thrust and the rotor drag. Rotor thrust is of course something we want to calculate. Rotor drag is going to let us calculate rotor torque, and that in turn is going to let us calculate rotor power. So in blade element theory, these expressions for L and D are derived at a local level and then integrated along the blade. So we'll do that in our next lecture. I will see you then.